Stop scrolling. This is important. Right now, somewhere out there, in a dusty drawer, an old piggy bank, or even mixed in your pocket change, there could be a tiny coin worth far more than anyone expects. These aren't just coins. They're hidden treasures, small pieces of American history that, in rare cases, have become incredibly valuable among collectors. And today, we're revealing the top 3 most valuable rare 1974 Lincoln Memorial cents ever discovered. Coins that have surprised collectors and become famous for their rare errors and unusual varieties. At first glance, they look completely ordinary. Simple, copper-colored, easy to ignore. But behind that small 1-cent coin could be something truly special. These classic Lincoln Memorial cent coins are found everywhere, but a few rare 1974 versions stand out because of mint mistakes, experimental strikes, and collector demand. Some are so rare that finding one would feel like discovering hidden treasure most people never even notice. Stay until the end, because the number 1 coin on this list might surprise you the most. And take a closer look at your pocket change. You never know what you might find. Welcome to Expansive COINS News, the channel where everyday pocket change turns into stories of real collector value. Make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on the bell, because we bring you powerful updates daily. Now, let's begin. Coin number 1. The 1974 Lincoln Memorial penny with no mint mark stands as one of the most fascinating and talked about coins in the collecting world. The Lincoln cent was created to honor Abraham Lincoln, a leader remembered for strength, unity, and perseverance. His portrait on the front of the coin reflects calm determination, while the reverse design of the Lincoln Memorial connects the coin to one of the most iconic landmarks in American history. By 1974, the United States was facing rising metal costs and economic pressure. Copper prices were increasing, and the government began searching for cheaper ways to produce pennies. This moment created one of the greatest mysteries in modern coin history. During this period, experimental pennies were secretly tested using aluminum instead of traditional copper. These lightweight coins looked unusual, felt different in the hand, and represented a possible future for American currency. Most people never saw these coins. The experimental 1974 aluminum cents were never officially released into circulation. Almost all were destroyed or returned to the government. But over time, rumors spread that a few examples may still exist somewhere, hidden away in private hands or forgotten collections. This is where the story becomes truly extraordinary. The ordinary 1974 penny with no mint mark was struck at the Philadelphia Mint in huge numbers. Millions entered circulation, becoming part of daily life. Most examples found today are common, worn, scratched, and darkened from decades of use. These coins may appear dirty, but that is simply the natural effect of time and handling. But collectors know something important. Sometimes the most ordinary-looking coin can hide the greatest surprise. Now let's address the powerful claim that a 1974 penny could be worth $900,000 or more. This dramatic idea comes largely from the mystery surrounding the 1974 aluminum cent. Because these experimental coins are considered extremely rare and historically important, they've become legendary among collectors. A normal 1974 copper penny, however, is not worth anywhere near that amount. Most circulated examples carry only small value above face value. The enormous prices people talk about are connected to the rare experimental aluminum pieces or unusual mint errors. Collectors also search for 1974 double-die varieties, where parts of the lettering or date appear doubled because of a mistake during production. These varieties are far more valuable than ordinary coins and remain highly collectible. Condition is another major factor. A 1974 penny with strong original red color, sharp details, and minimal marks is much harder to find than a worn brown example. High-grade coins always attract more attention in the collecting world. The natural aging of copper creates different shades over time. Bright red surfaces slowly become brown through oxidation, creating a look that reflects the coin's age and journey through history. Many collectors actually prefer these natural surfaces because they show the coin has not been altered. One of the most important rules in coin collecting is never to clean a coin. A 1974 penny may look dull or dark, but cleaning removes the original surface and can dramatically reduce value. In this world, originality is more important than shine. Imagine holding a 1974 penny in your hand. At first glance, it may seem ordinary, but hidden within that simple coin is a connection to one of the most unusual experiments in American coinage history, a moment when the entire future of the penny almost changed forever. Coins like this remind us that value is not always obvious. Sometimes it is hidden in a different metal, a tiny minting error, or a historical mystery that most people never notice. The Lincoln Memorial Cent remains one of the most recognizable coins in the world because it combines history, symbolism, and the excitement of discovery. Even a common date like 1974 carries the possibility of something extraordinary. In the end, the 1974 Lincoln Memorial penny, with no mint mark, is both ordinary and legendary. Most examples are common, but the mystery surrounding the aluminum experiment keeps collectors fascinated to this day. And that is the real secret. It is not just about finding a coin worth a fortune. It is about understanding what you have, recognizing the hidden details, and realizing that sometimes the smallest coin in your pocket can carry a story powerful enough to capture the imagination of the entire collecting world. Next up, the 1966 Lincoln Memorial penny with no mint mark stands as a fascinating reminder that even an ordinary coin can hide an extraordinary story. The Lincoln Cent was first introduced in 1909 to honor Abraham Lincoln, one of the most respected leaders in American history. His portrait on the front reflects strength and calm leadership, while the reverse design featuring the Lincoln Memorial symbolizes national identity and remembrance. By 1966, the United States Mint was facing enormous pressure. Coin shortages had spread across the country, and demand for pennies was rising rapidly. To help speed up production and discourage collectors from hoarding coins, mint marks were temporarily removed from all circulating coins during the mid-1960s. That is why the 1966 penny has no mint mark, even though it was produced in massive numbers. This detail often confuses people today because many assume a missing mint mark automatically means rarity. But for 1966, it was completely normal. Millions upon millions of these pennies entered circulation. They moved through stores, vending machines, restaurants, and everyday transactions, becoming part of ordinary American life. Most examples found today show heavy wear, darkened copper surfaces, scratches, and faded details from decades of handling. Some people call these coins dirty, but collectors see them differently. Every mark and tone tells part of the coin's journey through history. But here is where the story becomes truly exciting. Even though the 1966 penny is common overall, collectors constantly search for examples that stand apart from the rest. In the world of coin collecting, small differences can completely change a coin's importance. Some 1966 pennies were struck with unusual minting errors, off-center strikes, die cracks, doubled lettering, or weak impressions caused during production. These mistakes transform ordinary coins into collectible pieces that attract serious attention. Collectors also focus heavily on condition. A 1966 penny that still shows bright original red color, sharp details, and strong luster is much harder to find than a heavily circulated example. Coins preserved in near-perfect condition often become far more desirable. Now let's address the dramatic claim that a 1966 penny could be worth $300,000. This idea spreads quickly because it sounds unbelievable and captures people's imagination. But the truth is more realistic. A normal circulated 1966 penny is generally worth only a small amount above face value. However, extremely rare error coins or exceptionally preserved high-grade examples can command much stronger prices in the collector market. These are the coins that inspire treasure hunters to keep searching through old jars, drawers, and pocket change. The copper surface of the 1966 penny changes naturally over time. Freshly minted coins once glowed with bright red color, but decades of exposure to air gradually turned many into shades of brown. This natural toning is part of the coin's identity and history. One of the biggest mistakes people make is cleaning old coins. A clean coin may appear shinier, but it loses the original surface collectors value most. In coin collecting, authenticity and originality are far more important than artificial brightness. Imagine holding a 1966 penny in your hand. At first glance, it may look ordinary, but that small coin survived decades of circulation, witnessed changing generations, and traveled through countless lives before ending up in your collection. Coins like this remind us that value is not always obvious. Sometimes the greatest discoveries are hidden in plain sight, waiting for someone patient enough to notice the details others ignore. The Lincoln Memorial Penny series remains one of the most beloved in American coin history because it combines simplicity, history, and the thrill of possibility. Even a common date like 1966 can still spark excitement among collectors searching for rare varieties and hidden treasures. In the end, the 1966 Lincoln Memorial Penny with no mint mark is both ordinary and meaningful. Most examples are common, but the possibility of finding an unusual error or exceptional condition keeps collectors fascinated year after year. And that is the real secret. It is not only about finding a coin worth a fortune. It is about understanding the history in your hands, recognizing the hidden details, and realizing that sometimes the smallest coin can carry a story powerful enough to outlive generations. Next up, the 1981 Lincoln Memorial Penny with no mint mark stands as a fascinating reminder that even ordinary pocket change can capture the imagination of treasure hunters everywhere. The Lincoln cent continues the legacy of Abraham Lincoln, one of the most recognized figures in American history. His portrait on the front of the coin symbolizes resilience and leadership, while the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse connects the coin to one of the nation's most iconic monuments. By 1981, the United States Mint was entering a period of major transition. Rising metal prices were making it more expensive to produce pennies using traditional copper composition. Behind the scenes, discussions and experiments were already moving toward a dramatic change that would arrive in 1982 when pennies shifted from mostly copper to a zinc-based composition coated with copper. This makes the 1981 penny historically important because it represents one of the final years before that major transformation. At the Philadelphia Mint, pennies were struck without a mint mark, which was completely normal for that facility. Millions of these coins entered circulation and became part of everyday life. They moved through stores, banks, vending machines, and countless pockets across America. Today, most 1981 pennies found in circulation show signs of wear, scratches, faded surfaces, dark toning, and small marks from decades of use. Some may appear dull or dirty, but collectors understand that these natural surfaces often tell the true story of a coin's journey through time. But here is where the story becomes truly exciting. In the world of coin collecting, value is not created by age alone. It comes from rarity, condition, and hidden details that most people never notice. Even a common coin like the 1981 penny can become something extraordinary under the right circumstances. Collectors search carefully for small date and large date varieties, as well as unusual mint errors that occurred during production. Doubled lettering, off-center strikes, die cracks, and other minting mistakes can transform an ordinary penny into a highly collectible piece. Condition is also extremely important. A 1981 penny with bright, original red color, sharp details, and strong mint luster is much more difficult to find than a heavily circulated example. Coins preserved in exceptional condition always attract more interest from collectors. Now, let's address the dramatic claim that a 1981 penny could be worth over $100,000. Stories like this spread quickly because they capture people's attention and create excitement. But the reality is more complex. A normal circulated 1981 penny is generally worth only a small amount above face value. However, Certain rare mint errors or exceptionally preserved high-grade coins can reach far stronger values than ordinary examples. These are the coins that collectors dream about, the hidden treasures that may sit unnoticed in old jars or forgotten collections. The copper surface of a 1981 penny naturally changes over time. Freshly minted coins once had a glowing red appearance, but exposure to air slowly transformed many into shades of brown. This process, known as toning, is completely natural and often appreciated by collectors because it reflects authenticity. One of the biggest mistakes people make is cleaning old coins. Cleaning may seem harmless, but removes the original surface and can greatly reduce collector value. In the world of numismatics, originality matters far more than artificial shine. Imagine holding a 1981 penny in your hand. At first glance, it may seem like nothing special, but hidden inside that small piece of copper is a connection to a turning point in modern coin history, the final years before the composition of the American penny changed forever. Coins like this remind us that value is not always obvious. Sometimes the greatest discoveries are hidden in the smallest details, waiting for someone patient enough to notice them. The Lincoln Memorial Penny series remains one of the most beloved in coin collecting because it combines history, simplicity, and the thrill of discovery. Even a common year like 1981 still carries excitement because of the possibility that something rare could appear when least expected. In the end, the 1981 Lincoln Memorial Penny, with no mint mark, is both ordinary and meaningful. Most examples are common, but the hunt for rare varieties, mint errors, and exceptional condition keeps collectors searching year after year. And that is the real secret. It is not just about finding a coin worth a fortune. It is about understanding the history hidden in your hands, recognizing details others ignore, and realizing that sometimes the smallest coin in your pocket can carry a story powerful enough to last forever.